Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to the 5ers YouTube channel to our weekly analysis. I would like to remind you all that if you want to receive any updates or weekly webinars, trading idea, or any other Forex articles, you are more than welcome to subscribe to our channel or to our newsletters, of course. Okay, so let's start. First, I would like to check that you all can hear me and see my screen. Just if you can give me a sign on the text box at the bottom. Okay, everyone can hear me and see my screen. Okay, so let's start. All right. Okay, so today I'll start with the Kiwi against the dollar, the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar. And as you can see, I chose to start with a 4-hour chart time frame, and I marked on the chart the next critical key levels for swing traders, I would say. Above, we have a fresh supply, and the price is just now in between the supply above and this demand at the bottom. You can see exactly how this demand looks. The few little and small candles that ranging in a very tight range create this cube, which called the base. Then the price just jump from this level. So this is exactly how should look a great demand, and the price, as I said before, is just between the supply and this demand below. I will, of course, I will act on the first level that the price will hit. If the price will hit first this supply, I will sell there, and if the price will hit first this demand, I will buy at this demand New Zealand dollar. One more scenario that might be happen is if the price will break out this supply. I'll try to explain with the paint exactly what I mean. Okay, I'll take this line. Okay, if the price will just start to move up and break out this supply, right? Something like this, it will be kind of an indication that the price most likely tends to reach this supply, which is the next available supply, and most likely the price will tends to reach this one. So if the price will break this supply and hit our trigger our stop loss, which should be a bit above this supply level, we will look for any other setup for buy position. Try to use this understanding and go with the price all the way through the next available supply at the top here. Okay, the next currency, the next pairs I choose, it's the Canadian against the Japanese yen, Canadian dollar, the Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen. And as we can see, I marked this line here as the last high that the price create in this recent uptrend that we are now in. If the price will break out this trend line, it indicates that the price on his way to reach this supply above. Generally, I believe that the price already most likely tends to reach this supply above, which is seems like the next critical level, the next critical supplies with many sell orders, which is, at least from this picture, it seems like the next level that can stop the buyers from the uptrend. So this demand was great demand to join this momentum. The price already touched this demand, as you can see, and start to react back up. This demand is no longer valid, I won't buy here again because it will be more risky. The best is to just to buy when the price touch the first time in supply or demand levels. So this one is not valid anymore, but we can see how the price after create this demand, how the price test this demand again and continue his way up. Now he's again going down, and we should just sit and wait what the price will see. So the next opportunity will be only if the price will break out this last high and create some new demand or some other price action setup which give us a good signal for a buy position. Only then I will look for a buy position in order to reach this supply at the top. This supply at the top will be most likely the final target for the buy position if I'll find a reason to buy, and it's also a great supply for a sell position. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for in the Canadian against the Japanese yen. The next one, I leave the Bitcoin to the end. The next one is the the US dollar against the Canadian. And as we can see, I marked below two demand levels. This one is the one that I'm waiting for the price to touch this demand, and if that happens, I will definitely buy at this demand. The stop loss should be few pips below this demand, because if the price will break out this demand, we must understand that most likely the price will continue down to reach the demand at the bottom. Okay, so I will buy at this demand, and if the price will trigger the stop loss just below this demand, I will look for a new setup, new price action setup for sell positions, any other chart patterns or any other candlestick patterns to sell the USD against the Canadian. Try, of course, to reach this sell position and go with this sell position all the way to the demand here at the bottom, which will be the last and the final target for this position. And of course, this demand, it's not only the target for the sell position, it's also a great demand for a buy position. If we take a look on the daily chart, okay, I think we can see it's a, I think, let's take it on the 4-hour chart and try to see another way. Okay, so we can see this demand, and if the price will break out this level all this way down, it's kind of clear, I would call it clear way for the price to reach this demand at the bottom. Okay, the last asset I chose is the Bitcoin. It's the BTCUSD, and as we can see, the Bitcoin just create, I think if we take it to the 13-minute chart, we can see the picture much more clear. As we can see, the price create here a fresh supply. You can see how fast and strong the price drop from that level after this little few candles. Okay, I'll take it bigger, zoom in, and you can see exactly how it looks, this supply. So the price just dropped down from that level. You can see how fast and strong. Then immediately goes up to test this supply, and you can see the reaction from this supply. The price reached this way and dropped down again. So we already missed that supply, and of course it was a fresh supply, but no longer, it's not valid anymore because the price already touched one time the supply and act from there. You can see the reaction. So the next thing that I'm waiting for is to see if the price will break out the last low, as we can see here, because for now it's almost clear for me, at least from this picture, that the price in a very high probability on his way to reach this demand here below, which is the next critical and great level for a buy position. So until price reach there, I will look for any reason to sell the BTC against the USD, and the next opportunity might be occur only if the price will break out the last low. Then I will look for a new price action setup, a new supply, a new pattern or something, any other reason to sell the BTCUSD. This is what we are looking for, a breakout of this last low. It's also the support here that we can see from the left, which was a fresh demand here. The price rise from there, check it once, see the reaction, check it twice, check it on the third time. Now the price touch this level again, and if the price will reach this level again, the chances that the price now will break this level is higher. So this is what I'm looking for, and if that happened, I will wait for any other price action, new supply, or any other reason to sell the BTCUSD. This will be the final target, that demand here at the bottom, which is also a great level for a buy position. I think if we take a look on the daily chart, we can see exactly the uptrend on the daily chart, which this demand here that we saw on the hourly chart, on the 4-hour chart, in the daily chart is also the last bottom. Okay, and also it seems like a great level for a buy position for the long term, I would say. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you for joining us. For those who want to get to a more deep understanding about this kind of method, supply and demand and order flow, and how to trade with a naked chart, the same way that I'm analyzing this chart, we have a new video which with a good explanation about us. You can see it here on the bottom in one of the corners. You can watch it and get more explanation about this method of supply and demand. So thank you again for joining us. I wish you all successful trading week, and see you the next week. Thank you. Bye bye.